Okay. I think you can all see my face. It's a coach. Internet world, how you doing? I think I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable on this internet stage now. Just coming back from gymnastics with my little guy here, the little midgets in the back. This light is crazy. There's like trains, and I don't know, it's like 10 lights in a row, like within like 20 feet, and there's like train crossing and the whole bit. But anyway, it's gonna be an interesting title I threw up. We're gonna talk about weed today, marijuana, the ganja, whatever you want to call it, and athletics. Remember, if you like this information, like it, of course, put a little thumbs up button, hit a little bell so you get notified when I'm throwing up new videos. Share it, because a lot of this information, like I said, it's not really something that normally the general public gets knowledge of, or gets a whiff of. But anyway, I'm gonna do this real quick before I get through all these 100 lights here. So a few years ago, I was doing this workshop. I was with the Night Hoops Basketball Society, and yeah, I coach basketball. I suck at it, playing basketball is, but I'm great at coaching. So anyway, I was doing this workshop, and one of the athletes, he asked me, basically it was on drugs and alcohol. And so anyway, one of the things I said to the guys is like, they were asking about like, so you saying that we shouldn't, what if we smoke, because, smoke weed and stuff like that. And I was like, listen, man, and this is what I'm going to tell. I tell all my athletes this. I tell everybody, tell all the teenagers, whoever this, I tell you this. I'll never tell you not to smoke weed or do drugs or alcohol, none of that stuff. I just won't tell you that. First of all, this is exactly what I told them. I said, first of all, you're a teenager, so if I tell you no, automatically, like your teenage rebel side kicks in, and you want to do the opposite. It's that's just how it is, right? Doesn't matter which teenager you are. And so that's kind of, yeah, you know what I mean. That's what I told him. I said, I'll never tell you no. I'll never tell you yes. I'll never tell you no. Here's what I will do. I'm gonna ask you this. What do you want? Like what? Why are you sitting in this room? Like what exactly is it that you want? What are your goals? Like what are your ambitions? What do you want to do with your life? And then we can start there. All right. So these were athletes, and I just said to them, I said, well, based on the fact that you guys are elite athletes, there was actually quite a few elite athletes, provincial level athletes in the room. And so I said, well, for you guys watching in the US, that would be like your state level, all right? Like, tops in your state. So I just said to them, listen, man, like, you got to kind of look at what it is that you want. Like some of you guys want to play, like D1, D2, D3 basketball, all right? And so you have to think about like, how would it impact your, let's say for example, your cardio, right? If you're smoking weed, right? So you got to look at that aspect of it. The other thing is you have to look at also to some of the rules that are surrounding, the use of, and I guess at that time it was a prohibited, it pretty much is a prohibited substance. So you got to look at that, the use of that. Like, so you got to look at basically the outcome of your use, right? So how is it going to affect you emotionally? How is it going to affect you physically? How is it going to affect, like, when you got, because you're going to be put on a pedestal now to compete against some of the top people, right? In Canada, the US, actually all over the world, because that's who you got to compete against. So that's all I really had to say to them, man. Like, just kind of, look at your plans, look at your goals, and is that, the thing that you're going to be doing, is it going to be affecting, how is it going to affect you? So you've got to really look at that, like, in that sense, like physically and emotionally, like everything else. Are you going to be able to get up, and study and do everything? You're going to have the energy for everything, based on your usage, right? And also if it's a prohibited substance, what will happen if you're using and you actually get caught using, right? So that's kind of what I had to say to them. I never really, as a coach, I never really went to my athlete and I kind of like was down on them for doing stuff like that. I was just more or less asked them to look at it from their goals perspective, and how it will affect their goals and the things that they're trying to accomplish. And so, even for you parents out there, here's my thing. I know it's hard. Like I've got kids now, so I know it's hard. However, really the best strategy is to go at it from what they're trying to achieve. And you can throw out all the facts out there. You can talk about like the millions of deaths, put up pictures, of people like hanging upside down, like their head off. I mean, all that won't really do too much to most kids, right? So you got to kind of meet them where they're at. Like work with them based on, and you as an athlete, like you have to kind of work based on your goals and the things that you're actually trying to accomplish, right? And so that's kind of what I want to say on that, as far as the whole like, especially nowadays where here in Canada and a lot of the states where like marijuana is legal. Like, you can smoke all you want now, and drinking, obviously drinking, it doesn't matter what the age limit is, man. You want to get some alcohol and some weed, that's not a big deal. Like everybody knows it, right? And of course, our government being the biggest pusher of marijuana and alcohol, that's another subject for another time. But yeah, man, like, so when it comes down to that, like, hit it from the aspect of your goals and the dreams and the things that you're trying to accomplish, and how that's going to affect you physically, spiritually, emotionally, right, and everything else. Outside of that, man, have a great night. Enjoy, like, share. Hopefully this is motivational, inspirational. Ask me questions if you need it. I'm here for you, man.